Greeting to all the students. Welcome to Global Online. My name is Dr. Triptii, and here we are with our NTA UGC Net Paper 2 preparation for 2022 batch, in which we have taken the management paper, and in that we have taken Unit 6, that is Strategic Management. This is the fourth lecture. All the 3 lecture links are available in the description box. At the same time, earlier units, all links are also available in the description box. In this particular session, we are going to do strategic analysis part B. We have already completed strategic analysis part A in the previous class. Before going ahead, let's understand that what does Global Online has, to offer you for paper 2. So you can go on the Global Online app, which is you can download with the help of Google Play Store, register it with your mobile number, and you can get an OTP after the, say you can get registered yourself, and definitely you will come to this particular interface where you have UGC Paper 2 Management, which is consisting of complete video lectures, notes, test series, previous year question papers, that is in the PDF format, target-based preparation. If you're taking exclusively Paper 2, you will be getting Paper 1 free, and the cost for it is rupees 7,000. We also provide Paper 1, that is preparation, exclusively Paper 1, wherein we take daily live lectures, notes, we take last 10-year question papers, we take test series, that is 2,500 plus MCQs, and you can also get this facility available through the help of Global Online app, and also you can get in touch with us with the help of the WhatsApp number. The fees for the same is 3,500. So now let's start with the analysis part that is part B. So first we are going to talk about the BCG matrix. Now what exactly, you can see this BCG matrix, also a lot of questions are, a part of your paper 2. So you should be very careful with the concept. So the BCG matrix is a tool that can be used to determine what priorities should be given in the form of product portfolio. So it has 2 dimensions, that is it has a market share as well as market growth, the dimensions. Now, the basic idea behind this is that the bigger the market share a product has, or the faster the market share grows, the better is for the company. So obviously, it indicates the positivity. Now, placing the BCG matrix results into 4 categories. It also helps to analyze the generators and optimum users. Each of the company's business is positioned in the matrix according to its growth rate, that is market growth rate, and the competitive position. So let's see what are these dimensions basically, and let's slowly go to each and every factor. So market growth rate, which refers to the sales, projected sales, rate of sales for a particular business. It is usually measured in the percentage increase in sales in the market, or the unit or the volume over the last 2 recent years. That is 2 recent years are taken into consideration. So market growth indicates that relative attractiveness of the market of that particular or the business which has been served. Relative composition, competitive position is nothing but the ratio of business market share divided by the market share of the largest competitor. So whatever specific ratio you have, it is divided by the largest competitor in that market, and in the market that provides a basis for comparing the relative strength of different businesses in the portfolio. So now diagrammatically presentation, if you look, so we have the matrix in the form of, star, cash cow, that is we have a star, we have a dog, we have a cash cow, and we have, that is we have a market in selection. So yes, let's individually understand each and every aspect of this particular elements of BCG. So we have a star. So star indicates the high. So in match the following, this questions comes a lot. So unless and until your concept is not clear, it becomes difficult to attempt the match the following also. So yes, high share, market share is a high growth environment. Growing rapidly are the best long run opportunities, in the terms of profitability and growth. Leaders in their business, they are the leaders in the business, and they generate large amount of cash. They require substantial investment to maintain and expand their position in the growing market. So this is because of the high share, they are expected to enjoy, a lower cost structure. And at the same time, they're lower share competitors because of the experience. Okay, so if you can see, star, I mean to say, because of the high share, they're expected to enjoy the lower cost structure, which is a benefit for them. and their lower share competitors because of the experience it affects. So basically, this is the indication of a star. Now, when we go to the cash cows, the cash cow indicates, the cash cows are the low growth. They are the high market share products, but at the same, or the divisions you can say. Now, when we talk about cash cows, it is because of their high market, they have the low cost and they generate, the cash. This is what has been observed. Since their growth is slow, they are seen with a slow growth. There is reinvestment cost is low. Cash cows provide funds for overheads or dividend and investment for the rest of the firms in excess of their needs. Now, these businesses serves as what a corporate source for development. So they are, they maintain their strong market share while efficiently generating the excess things. They are the foundation of any firm or any organization, and their stability is appropriate strategy for them. So basically, the best strategy for them is the stability. Question mark we have, and then we have a dog. Sorry, so this was a thing which quadrant I was one missing. So question mark. So basically, it is high growth. So this is how it comes in the mass the following. That's the reason I have just highlighted in the bold form. So when you're listening to the lecture, you can even take the notes down. Okay. So when we say about question mark, it is the high growth, low market share products. Okay. The cash needs are high. Generation is low. They need to gain share by, additional generating the additional market share. And yes, if nothing is done to change the market share, question marks will simply absorb the great amount of cash and the growth. And, as the growth stops, as, it indicates towards the dog. Either investing heavily or sell off or invest nothing, whatever cash can generate whatever cash it can. So this can be the best option. This is the best solution for this particular situation. It aims to gain share rather than, to maximize the short-term profitability. So the question marks should be converted into stars and then later into the cash cow. This strategy will lead to what? It will lead to cash drain in the short run, but yes, there will be a positive flow in the long run. So that it will flow, it will definitely have a positive, option. And yes, this option will be, their other option can be in the form of disinvestment. Then comes the dog finally, that is the low growth, is the slow and relative market share is also low. So because of low market share, it is expected to have a high cost structure. It is difficult and extremely expensive to, for them to gain the share in the mature market. So it means they cannot, they cannot go back. They cannot go back. Like they cannot be back. Disinvestment or rapid harvesting is one of the strategy for such weak business. Often this low capital intensity businesses can be a fruitful cash generators. So what to do in such situations? It's better to avoid and minimize the number of dogs in the company. One should be aware of expensive turnaround plans, and otherwise it's better to liquidate. So you can't, these are the situations which which the organization falls in. So you cannot definitely stop them. The only thing what you can take is the precautionary step, or better to be taking a right decision. So yeah, I have given an examples of a BCG Matrix. So I have given a separate example of Apple, that is the stars, the question mark, the dogs, and the cash cow. So iPods, okay, question mark was an Apple TV, but the star was an iPad and iBook. Okay, cash cow was in the form of MacBooks. So this was an exclusive example of Apple. If you see in the another diagram, I have given different organizations. So you have different organizations. This is, see, there will be definitely no questions, but this is just to make your concepts clear, that which organizations does well with the BCG Matrix. That's what I have listed. Okay, and Apple I have given an example exclusively. So what can be the limitations of BCG Matrix? It is difficulty in defining the market, measuring the market share and market growth. It fails to recognize the market with the growth rate or average market share. The relationship between the share and the profit, that is market share and profit, varies across the industry and the segment. Yes, it is not, you can't say it will be one and the same. In some industries it will be large, whereas in some industries it will definitely does not work out. Like Mercedes-Benz, so it is low market share, but it has a high profitability. not helpful, particularly in comparating the investment opportunities. Why? Because it is, different business units are following the different portfolios. So you can't get a standardized view for this particular businesses. So it depends all on respect to the industry or to the segments. Next one you have is five forces model, Porter's five forces model. This is also, you are definitely getting, questions on this. So it is an analysis tool with five forces in order to determine the intensity of the competition in an industry and its profitability level. So it was given by Porter, that is in 1979, to understand the competitive forces. So any industry with low barriers to enter, having few buyers or suppliers, but many substitute products and competitors will be seen as a very competitive and thus not so attractive due to its lower profitability. So like, for example, it talks about the bargaining power of suppliers. It talks about the bargaining power of the customers. It talks about the rivalry. It talks about the threats of substitute, or it talks about the threat of new entrants. Okay. So this is how basically it is involved in. Now let's see what exactly it is. When is industry attractive in this situation, and when it is not unattractive, you can say. So attractive indicates high profit, no, unattractive indicates low profit. So when we talk about high profits, that has high barriers to enter, weak suppliers, bargaining power, weak buyers, bargaining power, few substitute products or services, there is, low competition. Then when we talk about unattractive industry, there are low barriers to enter, strong suppliers having bargaining power, strong buyers having bargaining power. Then we have many substitute products or services and this intense competition. So you can see this is parallelly, it is exactly going same. So this really plays an important role. Now in statement format, as you know, nowadays case study format is also coming. So they can give you any points in order to recognize the attractive industry and unattractive industry. So these points can be helpful for you. So threats of new entrants, one by one, let's see. So that definitely this force determines how easy or not to enter a new market or industry it is. Maybe there are barriers, maybe there are, rivals. So definitely the threat is very high when the following points are noted, like low amount of capital, or existing companies or existing firms do not possess patents, trademarks. Then there is no government regulation, the switching cost is low, customer loyalty is low, products are nearly identical, or economies of scales can be easily achieved. So in this situation, you can understand the threat of the new entrants is high. So these are the situations which will tell you, or which will give you an indication that the new entrants chances are very high. Next you have is the bargaining power of supplier. So there is a strong bargaining power of supplier is allowed to sell high priced or low quality raw material goods. So this directly affects the buying firm's profit because they have to pay more for the material. So suppliers have strong bargaining power when. So these are the conditions when the strong bargaining powers can be exhibited. So there are few suppliers but many buyers. Suppliers are large and they threaten to forward integrate. Few substitutes like raw materials exist, or they have scarce resources. And yes, the cost of switching of the raw material is especially very high. So in such case, you will understand that there is a strong bargaining power. Now bargaining power with buyers. So yes, it indicates the demand, that is to demand lower price or high product quality. Yes, lower price, it means lower revenue for the producer, while higher quality products raises production cost. So basically the scenario results in the low profit. Now what can be the buyers, the strong bargaining power can be when it can be exhibited in which of the options. Buying a large quantity or to control the access points, only few buyers exist. Switching cost is definitely low. The threaten to backward integrate. In suppliers we saw forward integrate. There are many substitutes and the buyers are price sensitive. So these conditions will say that buyers exist a strong bargaining power. So here you are going to get questions on this only. Where can be the threat higher or for a new entrant? Where can be the bargaining power? Sorry, the suppliers have a strong bargaining power. When can it seen that the buyers have a strong bargaining power? So these are the options which indicates that, you know, these situations are going to come. Substitutes, threat. So this force is especially threatening when the buyers can easily find the substitutes, like, you know, either in the form of price, which is attractive, or the quality. So for example, to switch from coffee to tea doesn't cost anything, unlike switching from car to bicycle. So that is, you know, either they take it in the price format, or they take it in the form of quality. Now, how can be the rivalry among existing competitors occur? So what indicates? So obviously this is, you know, it is regarding the competition and profitability. So when we talk about the rivalry of the competitors is intense, you know, in which situations it will be intense. So there are many competitors, the barriers, exit barriers are high, the growth is slow, or it can be negative also. Products are not differentiated and cannot be easily substituted. Competitors are of equal size, and the low customer loyalty is being found. So yes, now we have the next is 7S framework. So basically this was a model which was developed by Tom Pitter and Robert Waterman in the year 1970. Here also years, or the developers of the models are being sometimes asked. So this particular 7S framework was an, you know, element for an organization which needed to get alignment successfully. So this, the like for the department, or, you know, for the merger or acquisition, during a merger or acquisition, which consisted of soft and hard elements. So we are going to talk in detail about the soft elements, and we are going to talk about the detail of hard elements. So what is this 7 frameworks? S framework stands for. So it has hard and soft, but overall it is strategy, structure, system, style, values, skills, and staff. So we are going to see one by one. So this is how it is, you know, diagrammatically how it is related. But let us go for the explanation properly. So where it is applied? So it is basically applied for a change. It is applied, you know, to implement a new strategy, that is action, to identify the area which may change in future, or to facilitate the merger. So let's first have a look at hard elements. That is the strategy, that is action, which is developed, you know, in order to achieve the competition, for which a sound strategy is required, which will work till long term, which will achieve to give the competitive advantage. And definitely it will reinforce by the vision, mission, and values of the organization. When we talk about structure, it is, you know, it is like basically who is accountable to whom. So structure talks about this. That's the reason I've just highlighted the important parts. So the organizational in other words, structure is the chart of the firm. It is also one of the most visible and easy to change element of the framework. So system, it talks about the process and the procedure, which reveals, you know, the activities of the business. It determines how the business is done, and, you know, how the focus the managers has to be during the change. Then when we talk about soft, that is the S factors. So it talks about the skills, that is the ability of the employee to perform well. Staff, where we talk about, you know, what type and how many employees are recruited, trained, or motivated, or rewarded. When we talk about the style, that is how the top level managers manages the business with their uniqueness or with their management style. And values talks about, you know, the McKinsey 7S model. It means the norms, the standards with this respect to the behavior of the employee, the company actions, or, you know, which are the foundation of all the organizations. So yes, so we have done strategic analysis in detail part B. So strategic analysis part A and part B both are covered. We still have some topics to be discussed in strategic management, which will be taking ahead in the coming days. Okay, thank you everyone.